All right, so my Tabor City home here, and was out here doing some work. Pretty much, we were watering these little sunflower bed that my wife wanted. We've been out here doing this work, and I have, for the life of me, been trying to figure out why this hydrangea is so pitiful. And first year it was okay; it did a pretty good job. Last year didn't look great. This year it's just pitiful, and if you can see, I mean, it's just small. And you know, this is a 3-year hydrangea that just isn't doing nothing, going anywhere. So we fertilized it last year. We did a couple other things with it, but it just never really looks great. So dawned on me, I haven't checked the pH of this soil here, you know, recently. And so looking at the soil, the pH of the soil is 8.2, which 7 is neutral. So it's 8.2. It's a hugely alkaline soil. Now we do have a lot of pine trees and things of that nature in this area, and this is a clay-based soil. So number one, if you have clay, you're more likely to be alkaline than you are to be acidic. And number two, with all these pine needles, and so this used to be a pine forest, so you know, we got that going for us. So hydrangeas like to have a pH level from 5.5 to 6.5, right? So at above 8, this thing here was not happy at all. It was not living its best life. We fertilized it, we watered it, it's sitting out here in the sun, you know, doing what it can, and it's just not having its best life. So went and put some sulfur on it, and the kind of sulfur that we use is just this rattlesnake brand sulfur. It's from Cape Fear Chemicals, the same sulfur that they sell you to put out in your yard to keep snakes away, because sulfur will keep snakes away. The same sulfur that they sell you to put out in your yard to keep snakes away will work for plants, and you can put it on plants. Now, beyond this hydrangea, I added it to this hydrangea. I added it to the hydrangea over here. We have several gardenias in the yard, and you know, this hydrangea, out of all of them, looked the healthiest, doing the best. The pH of the soil around this hydrangea was right at about 7. Okay. But I added a bunch of amendments in when I added this hydrangea 2 years ago. So, and it's a different type of hydrangea. So I'm hoping that souring up the soil for these things, making them a little bit more acidic, will help these things grow. And so that's my plan. I went ahead and put the sulfur around. Yeah, it looks a little yellowish. It'll, you know, we're supposed to get some rain next couple of days. I watered it in yesterday. We'll water it in again today. We've been watering these things pretty much every evening time for the last week or so. But what I'm hoping is that, along with putting some 10-10-10 fertilizer down, we'll start seeing some more better growth out of all these hydrangeas. Also sulfured the gardenias. I have a gardenia over there that I made a previous video about that I did the same thing with, and I'm gonna tell you, that thing took off. So if these hydrangeas take off as much as that gardenia did with you know, putting the sulfur around it, they ought to really be something to see. And maybe this fall we'll do an update and show, you know, kind of where they went with it. Anyways, you know, that's my Tabor City home. If you guys are having a problem with a plant and you can't figure it out, it's getting adequate sunlight, it's getting adequate water, and you're giving it the fertilizer, make sure that you have proper pH in the soil, because without proper pH, it cannot adequately take up the fertilizer. Doesn't matter how much nutrition you're giving it, it can't adequately take up the nutrition. Having a bad pH is like having a bad stomach. It's like having a, you know, gastroenteritis or a, you know, sick stomach, and then expecting you to gain weight. You just can't do it because you're sick all the time. Well, bad pH is kind of the same thing for a plant. So, yeah. Anyways, my Tabor City home. You guys have a great day.